Welcome back. Today, we're taking on something that sounds a little wild. We're going to break down how a mobile app can go from just an idea in your head to a launch-ready product in just 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I know, it sounds intense, doesn't it? But here's the thing. With a really solid plan, it's not just possible, it's actually a structured and achievable process. So the big question is, how on earth is it done? What's the secret to moving that fast while still building something great? Well, the answer is all about having a great blueprint. I want you to think of this plan less like a boring to-do list and more like a treasure map for developers. Seriously, it outlines the entire adventure from that very first line of code all the way to launching it on the cloud, so you always know exactly where you are and what's coming up next. And here is that map, laid out for us. Our whole quest is split into 3 clear weeks. Week 1 is all about laying a solid foundation, getting the project set up and handling security. Week 2 is the fun part, where we build the core of the app, adding all the features users will actually interact with. And finally, Week 3 is dedicated to that absolutely crucial final polish before we launch. It's a nice, clean flow that we're going to follow step by step. Okay, let's dive right into Week 1, laying the foundation. Just like you wouldn't build a skyscraper on sand, you just can't build a robust app without getting these first steps right. This is where we handle the initial project setup and that all-important user authentication. The key here is breaking the week down into 3 manageable chunks. First, we kick off the project and connect it to a back-end service like Firebase, which honestly handles a ton of the heavy lifting for us, things like data storage and user management. Then, we create the very first things a user will see, a splash screen and an authentication wrapper. And finally, we build the front door to our app, the login and sign-up screens. A strong start is everything. This really helps demystify the code, doesn't it? These aren't just random files, they each have a critical job. AppTheme.dart is like the app's interior designer. It keeps the look and feel consistent with all the colors and fonts. UserModel.dart is basically the user ID card, defining exactly what info we're keeping for each person. And AuthService.dart is our security guard, managing who gets in and who gets out. Simple, right? All right, our foundation is set, so now we get to move into the heart of the project, building the core features. This is where the app truly starts to come to life, as we add all the stuff that users are going to see and interact with every single day. So what does that interactive experience actually look like? Well, we're building the essentials for a social-style app, a dynamic home feed to show posts, the ability for users to create their own posts, and of course, user profiles. We're also adding a special restricted news screen for official announcements and those key engagement features that make an app feel alive, the ability to like and comment. Now, a really key concept that makes this app smart is role-based access. It sounds technical, but it's actually pretty simple. It's just a system for giving different users different permissions. Think about it. You want any user to be able to post on the main feed, but you only want a trusted admin, someone with an authority role, to post official updates on the news screen. It's all about creating a secure and well-managed experience. With our features in place, we're heading into the final and maybe the most critical phase, the polish and launch. This is where we go from just functional to absolutely fantastic, turning a working app into a professional product that people will trust and really enjoy using. And this just illustrates the difference perfectly. On one side, you have a clunky app. Sure, it works, but with inconsistent design, it just feels cheap. On the other side, you have a polished and professional app where everything is seamless. And hey, remember our interior designer file, apptheme.dart? This is where it does its magic, ensuring that professional consistency that makes an app feel trustworthy. But before we can celebrate, there's one last hurdle, the final checks. This means we have to do some thorough debugging and testing. And you have to be relentless here, making sure the login works perfectly, that posts display correctly, and that our role-based restrictions are totally secure. Only when we're confident can we package the app for deployment and prepare for launch. So, as we wrap things up, let's just quickly recap the journey and focus on the single most important takeaway from this whole process. It's not really about a specific technology or line of code, it's about the plan itself. And I think this quote from the source material just says it best. A structured plan gives you a clear path forward. It's the key to managing all that complexity and making sure you build an app with clear user roles, a seamless interface, and a reliable backend. At the end of the day, the roadmap itself is the true key to success. So there you have it. We've just walked through the entire blueprint, from a simple idea all the way to a finished app in just 3 weeks. The plan is clear, the steps are laid out, you've seen the roadmap. So the only question left is, what will you build?